sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. You know, I really hate this new program. I really do. I really, really, really hate this new program. And I got to stop hitting that damn mute button on the program. Grr. Welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense, where I am screwing up because of this damn new program. You think I'd be used to it by now? I've been using it about a month now. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, because I would have never known that I was muted. I do not like this program, Sam. I do not like it with green eggs and ham. So the Jersey Screw-Up is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday. Unless I leave the mute button on, then you'll have nothing. Remember to join the live chat so you can tell me that my dumbass is not broadcasting, and it is greatly appreciated. If you want to watch a broadcast, a live stream, go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER, REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe to that live stream if you like it, and leave a comment. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one also, and click on the Reaver store. So I got news on. I'm seeing what's going on. Hopefully everybody knows Britain has gained its independence. Britain is its own country, or will be its own country again. They voted to leave the EU. Now, what does that mean? Well, this is going to take about 2 years for it to actually happen, 2 years or more. Because you see, David Cameron, the Prime Minister, little twerp, globalist, elitist, Obama's little buddy. Well, he's not going to be leaving anytime soon. Well, October he'll be leaving. And he is not putting in Article 50, which is, that's paperwork to the UN saying they're going to leave. So until they put that Article 50 paperwork in, it don't mean shit. They're still part of the EU. They have to follow all the laws. Now, once that paperwork is actually put in, then treaties have to be brought up, and agreements, and everything, you know, economics. It's a long road. And if the European Union wants to be dicks about it, they can drag this out for years to come. And the whole time, leaving Britain in the European Union. They can actually fight this in court to keep them in for a breach contract. But what this has also done is, now there are several countries, and the list is growing and growing and growing. And so I'm not going to go over every country. I've read on social media. I've read in news articles. I think there's 2 countries that are already going to place the exit referendum up for vote in their country. I think it's like 5 or 6 countries I've read that this kind of set a domino effect. 2 of them are definitely putting a referendum, it seems like, from what I've read. And they were just seeing how it went with Britain. They were using Britain as a little test gauge. Yeah. He was just they're using Britain as a test gauge, as I said. And that now that there's been an exit, well, now they're going to do it. The European Union is pretty much a failure. It's on its way down. It's nosediving. And I think, my opinion, the European Union's on life support right now. It's in trouble. This mass Muslim invasion that these elitist, globalist, George Soros, ass-kissing garbage pieces of shit. Well, they tried to push this on everybody, and it backfired. If it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for this Muslim invasion, I don't know if you would have had a Brit X. That really fueled it and really pushed a lot of people over the hump. There was one thing to have all these Europeans, you can pretty much travel as you saw fit. But being forced to take other countries unwanted, and then those people not being, and those people not being exactly humble or gracious that they were taken in. And that's the biggest thing. They were not humble. They did not appreciate being taken into these countries. You got areas in United Kingdoms, UK. Throughout school, I always was taught Britain, so for some reason, I always revert back to Britain. So I like calling it Britain. And then, on a side note, I looked up the map. And the county where the parish of Antrobus, which is where my family many, many moons ago is from. Well, they voted to leave. They wanted independence. So I'm happy. And, I think it's a good thing. The European Union is it was a socialist activity. It was a socialist push. And it's failing. And right now our Dow is down. Everything's down right now over Britain leaving. Britain is going to hit a little economical bump right now. It's going to be hard on them. They just gained their freedom. It's going to be some work. It is going to be some work for them. It's not going to be an easy road back to freedom. It never is. And now Britain is going to find out how so many countries felt. And I'm not trying to be negative and go to the past. But I'm just saying they're going to know how it felt to fight for that freedom. Now they're going to know why America loves their freedom so much. The fight we had to put up. We had to put up a fight. They had a fight, but not the same. I mean, there were several countries they held underneath their thumb, Britain did. Now, this is many moons ago. But still, there are people who are going to understand it now. Why so many countries love their freedom when they broke away. But it's a fight. It's going to be a fight. They're going to have to learn who they are all over again. And they may not be the same country, the same people they were before this freedom. It may give them a whole new outlook and a whole new way of life. And I honestly believe that the royal family, because I know there's been some questions whether the Queen made that comment or not. And in England, you know, the journalists don't like to even make those kind of comments because it's improper. They're not supposed to do it. But supposedly right before the vote happened, the Queen turned to a guest and said, well, give me 3 reasons why we should stay in the Union. I could see her actually saying that because, well, it's their country. They lost all control of their country, pretty much. They had no say in the European Union, no representation in that new commission. So I could see why they would want. I mean, they didn't have a vote in it, but I could see why they would want it back. Now, the heck? Sorry, hearing a lot of noise out front. And they have their prime minister resigning. That was a shock to a lot of people. A lot of people didn't expect that. They would expect him to try to be, you know, still pushed to override this. But his ego was too hurt. He couldn't rule the people. The ones that he just threatened would not respect him. And yes, they tried a lot of dirty tactics. And it's going to be a long road for them. And this bodes well for Donald Trump. And this does have an impact on everybody in the world, and it has impact in our country. Because one of the things it showed, and there's several people I've seen that were like, holy shit, and this has reawoken them, and it reawoke me a little bit. It gave me a sense of hope. Because I'll admit, all this week, last week, I've been kind of down in the dumps. I've been a little negative. And I know I have, and I apologize, but with everything that I've been seeing and all the coverage I've been watching, and all these people that are calling up and cheering us giving up our constitutional right. I had a conversation with this, his big claim to fame. He was the starting quarterback of Boston University. He's worked for NASCAR as an announcer. He's worked for NFL as a producer for some of their shows. You know, but he had to go on that he is willing to give up other people's freedoms so that he can have the illusion of safety. He is willing to give up people's freedoms and doesn't realize that he's given up his own freedoms for the illusion of safety. But so many people are, calling into C-SPAN and cheering it, chastising the Republicans because they didn't kowtow to this childish behavior of the Democrats. that I had, honestly, I'd given up a little bit. But this Brit Expo, well, it's kind of renewed my faith in people. Oh, and that person that ran their mouth, because I found it funny. After a while, I got kind of tired of his mouth last night. And I had on my friends list. I got tired of his bullshit, so I unfriended him. Oh, he starts sending me private message that I blocked him, which I didn't do because he's sending me private message. So what does this cock-sucking pussy do, Kevin Foley? What does he do? After I told him I didn't block him from the conversation, go complain to Facebook that they're not letting him, or he was too fucking stupid to use it. So what does he do? He comes back, makes comments about my wife, about her. He doesn't even know what she looks like, but he makes negative comments about my wife. Real big man there behind a computer screen. He's got to run his mouth. And then the pussy blocks me. That's real big man, Kevin Foley is. And he's supposed to be a quarterback guru for 94.1 in Philadelphia for the radio station. Let me tell you, I'm glad I don't live up there anymore. Because that was one of the stations I liked. And if they got a jackass like that, yeah, I wouldn't be doing anything. Hey, and the dumbass lives in North Carolina now. He's a real big man. He's got to sit behind a computer screen, take shots at my wife, who wasn't even in the conversation, and then run away. Big man, big man. Big man that he's willing to give up everybody's freedoms, and not, he's so stupid to realize that he's giving up his freedoms. So yes, this Brit Expo, Brit exit, renewed my faith. It showed me the people are still willing to stand up. And it showed, or it should show people, just as we have nominated Trump, we went against what the RNC wanted. The people were able to stand up, and this crap that I heard for your vote don't mean shit. Guess what? It does. It does. And that just showed it. We nominated Donald Trump against the grain. We have a country that is leaving a socialist organization. Sorry, my neighbor's doing, no, not neighbor, but the house next to me, and they're doing some work, and it just, the people don't seem right, so I was looking out the window because it just, something doesn't sit right. But this is a great day for the world. This is a great day for the people. If we stick together, we stand up, we can take this world back and take it back for the people. Because the ones that really wanted Britain to stay in were these globalist elitists. And that's everything that Trump's been standing against. So people, if you're listening, yes, we can fight against that here in the United States. Our future is not set in stone. I know it looks like that sometimes, but we're not set in stone, but we have to fight. And yes, as I admit, it was a daunting task, and it got me. I went to the negative side there for a little bit. But yesterday, the Supreme Court ruling Paul Ryan actually getting a set of balls and standing up to the Democrats. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that, Jenna. One of the first thing I said is June 23rd will go down as England's Independence Day. And just congratulations, Britain. You fought for it. You did what you needed to do. You didn't take the threats of this global elitists. And on a side note, I've been looking into it. My T-shirts that I have done, started looking into, and it's nothing against the company I was dealing with. But if I start getting my sales start going up on T-shirts, because right now, well, I know I am not a salesman, and it's not my numbers of listeners, because I have a pretty decent amount of people that listen to me, and that still humbles me that everybody would want to listen to me. But I'm thinking about actually taking over doing the shirts. And start producing them in my house. I got some, I'm going to do some test runs after the show. I got some of the material to do it, to create the designs and to put them on the shirts. I don't have the professional way of doing it yet, but supposedly this isn't that bad and it can be done easy. So I'm going to do a couple test runs after the show. And my daughter's like real excited about it because, of course, I'm going to do a couple of her old T-shirts. And she's excited because we can do anything, any design we want. But yeah, I'm looking at taking it over and doing it myself because we got to stop relying on everybody else, people. And go back to doing shit ourselves as much as we can. And that's nothing against the company. The company I've been dealing with, it's been great. It's just maybe I need to get off my ass and take it over myself. Especially if it's not that great of numbers, I can do it myself. But if you want to look at what we have right now, you can go to Reaver.com, click on the store up top. Or if you look on the right-hand side, it's on the webpage. It gives you a preview of that store. That's the other thing. I'll have to go into web design, which I don't know. And I'm going to have to create the store. And I got to figure out how to link, PayPal. As much as I hate to use them, there's not many options out there. But set it up because I don't want to be going through third-party companies and all this just for them to offer PayPal, which I already have. And I already looked. There is, for the WordPress, there's some basic programs that I don't have to pay for that'll link my PayPal onto my site with a click of the button that should automatically ring in your order. So I'm going to look at that. And after the break, we are going to get into the news of what's happening. And again, congratulations to Britain on their freedom. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio and ICRN Network, and soon to be Red Nation Rising Radio. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Out of the ashes of liberal rises the phoenix born onto the Red Nation Rising Radio Network, coming July 4th, 2016. One of the many serving this great phoenix of Red Nation Rising Network is the one, the only Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe is bringing his Reaver of Common Sense show to the birth of a new Red Nation Rising radio network.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. And yes, no mutes. I think I'm back on. Hopefully I'm back on. Welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Let me do the PRN. Just click on the chat room button. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to reaver.one. Click on the live stream. You're not going to say, fuck that. If you like the live stream, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt. Again, as I said, that store may be changing. I might lose a lot of items, but I want to do the things. Yeah, Jenna, my Jersey Boy promos, Soccer's not in it. I don't think he is. I got to play through it. I don't even listen to him anymore. I've heard it so many times. All right, but what I want to get to, I found this during the break, and I got to play it. It is a black pastor, and listen to what he has to say. This made me really laugh. Not laugh, but I mean, it's snicker.
White people are being pushed around, kicked to the curb, having their rights denied, being called a racist, being walked on, watching their tax dollars go to fund all kind of drug sales, prostitution, illegal immigration. I mean, y'all gonna push these white folk till they can't take it no more. I'm telling you. You fool around here with Obama? You gonna let this long-legged Mac Daddy push these white folk? They gonna come up out of Tennessee and come up out of Oklahoma, come up out of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, come up out of Oregon, and come out of Idaho, California. I'm telling y'all, you're pushing these white folk and you're pushing them. Your long-legged Mac Daddy's pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. And they're going to get, listen, you're going to push people to the point where they're not going to take it no more. These white folk are not going to take it. You're taking their tax money. You're closing down their jobs. You're shutting down their banks. You're telling them what they can and cannot do. You're giving billions of dollars to Acorn. You're taking their tax money and giving it to people to buy drugs. You're killing babies and you won't stop. You're telling lies and you're demoralizing our nation. You're destroying everything that has made this nation great. White folk getting ready to rise up. They don't want to take it no more. And I'm joining them. Oh, doggone it. I am. I mean, it's just an insult. It's one thing to have a president that you're okay, all right, he's Republican, you're a Democrat, he's Republican, you disagree on policy. But this man is destroying what God loves. He's destroying the fabric and the fiber of the nation. And he is a prolific, if you will, liar and killer and murderer. spiritually, politically. I'm telling you, you're going to see an uprising in this nation. And it won't be long now. I mean, you just can't keep pushing folk the way Obama's pushing white folk and the way black folk are pushing white folk. You can't keep doing that. I'm telling y'all.
Hey, it's not my video. It's not my comments. I'm not going to rise up and start doing violence. I think it's more than Obama. And they were trying to, how can I put it? Condition us into a certain way of thinking and doing things so that they could do whatever they wanted. And it's backfiring on them. The problem is, I believe, for years they've been pushing this. For years, decades. But it's been a slow progression. And for whatever reason, they thought that they can ramp up that push with Obama in office. But they push too hard, too fast. They turned that hot water up too hot. And we've all kind of said, shit, time to jump out of the water. And that's that frog boiling theory. Well, it's backfiring, and I think it is. They've gone pushed too hard, pushed too far. And you got to see that over the last couple of years. Just the people have gone ape shit nuts. But on the other hand, I'm starting to notice on these social medias, the ones that are backing Obama the most, and I've been starting to pay attention more. When I get in a conversation with somebody on social media, I don't go looking at their damn profile. I don't give a shit what, kitty poster pictures they're posting. But I've been starting to pay attention and starting to look, and a lot of these idiots that are pushing Obama, telling him to do executive order on immigration, telling him to do executive order on gun control. These people don't even live in the United States. They're not from the United States. They are foreigners telling our president how to run the country without a knowledge of our laws. And it goes back to that jackass last night that I had the conversation with, Kevin Foley, little scumbag, had to take the shots at my wife and run. But he's like, that old document that was written in 1700s, and he's bashing this document. It's like, what part don't you understand? He's trying to bash it because women couldn't vote, because the medical time. And he's going through this list, and I'm like, you are a dumb fuck. You went to college. I could see Boston University does not educate their football players. Because that guy's dumber than dog shit. And Boston University, well, I'll tell you this. There is no way in hell I would send my daughter to your university after I saw how you educated that man. Because you did not educate him. You let a football player come into your school, play football for you, and you did not educate him. Now, I don't have a college degree, and a college degree does not make you educated. But that man, our document is running our lives. Well, jackass, you got freedoms. You got due process. You could vote. You don't have to worry about police coming into your house and searching. You don't have to worry about getting arrested just because you're under suspicion. You don't have to worry about going to jail just because you're under suspicion. And you want to knock that old document. You want to knock it because it was only muskets when the Second Amendment was written. Hey, fuck faces. You're on social media using your freedom of speech. Social media wasn't around when the Declaration was written, but yet you still have the freedom there. Hi, Gary. You don't, the computers, internet, phones, cell phones, we're not around, but yet you still have the freedom of speech covered. You know, they love it then, but when it comes to protecting your house, that's when they draw the line. Oh, no, we can't have that. When it comes to protecting your family or protecting yourself, they don't want that because we are talking about muskets here. Hey, jackass, the muskets were the assault weapon of the time. So, yes, I do have a right to an assault weapon. I have the right to militarized weapons because that was the militarized weapon of its time. You are a dumb fuck when you start pushing this stuff. Because maybe you should... And he comes and complains when I defriended him. You're taking away my freedom of speech. Wait a minute, jackass. You love pushing that one around, but you don't want due process. You don't want... Basically, what would happen with this no-fly list as it was written by the Democrats, how they wanted to push it, even though it would not have stopped a single fucking shooting, it would do away with First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fifth Amendment, and 14th Amendment. This isn't just a Second Amendment fight. That's all that they want to make it about and make it sound like we're fighting. No, I'm fighting for more than just the Second Amendment. I am fighting for our freedoms. That's why I've been pushing about this no-fly dumbass rules. Because I'll tell you this, even my brother's too much of a pussy to step up and fight for himself. So I will fight for him. And yes, I call my brother a pussy. We have different political ideology. And he doesn't have the balls to stand up to say it's not right that he is on a government list because of his name. Not everybody has the balls to stand up to fight for what is right. Yeah, that's what this gentleman did, then ran. And Jen is saying, so they don't like what you say, they bash your wife and kid. Yeah, and then they run like a little pussy and block you. Well, I've been compared, my buddy Crash will call me a pit bull at times. Because I'm like a dog. Once I get something on my mind, that's all that's on my mind. And I was going to deal with other stuff between I think it was 6 till 9. I had other things I wanted to do, and this came up. So I ended up, because, the dumb fuck forgot that I originally found him on... No, I found him on Facebook, but I had him on Twitter also. So I made sure that I had screenshots of everything, of Kevin Foley, of what he had to say. I got screenshots of him repeatedly blasting the Constitution from when we originally talked. So I had fun because I'm not mad. I'm not sitting here all pissed off. No, I'm laughing and I'm having fun as I went through his social media and made sure that all his social media personnel knew that he is against the Constitution, that he doesn't mind giving up everybody else's freedoms so long as his family is safe. Piss on everybody else's freedom. What kind of American is that? That he's so much of a pussy, he's willing to give up other people's freedoms for the illusion of safety. And then also which I find funny, your little show probably only have your mom watching or listening to your show out of your mom's basement. Well, he knows I'm in Florida, the dumb fuck. And anybody with half a brain knows Florida, we don't have basements, number one. I know that's a stupid point, but it just shows his intelligence and his thinking level. Why do you got to go and attack my family? That's what I find funny. I'm going to get pissed off. He's going to bash my show. Okay, that's your opinion. You have a right to it. I don't give a shit what you think about my show. I'm on 5 or 6 stations now. And I'm pretty sure that if I didn't have any type of audience, that if nobody wanted to listen to me and it was only my mommy listening to me, all these stations wouldn't have me. Now, I don't have Glenn Beck, Limbaugh numbers. No, I don't. I am a small show. He's not saying anything I don't know. And you know what? I've said it, and I keep saying it because I mean it, people. I am humble that you guys listen to the show. And I know I'm going on a rant today about this asshole and some other things. But you know what? This guy deserves it. This guy deserves get a little embarrassment. All I did was unfriend him because I'm tired of every time I put up some comments. And what started it all is I put up about that Chicago journalist that tried to buy an AR-15. And this guy's so programmed to believe what he reads that he agreed with the writer. Now, I don't know if anybody read the article, but a journalist went and tried to buy an AR-15 to show how easy it is. Well, he got turned down because not only did he admit he is an alcoholic, and it popped up on his background check, which is an automatic disqualification for you to buy any weapon. What the things that popped up would have stopped him for any type of weapon, not just the AR-15. Plus, he has charges of domestic violence, which kept him from buying any weapon, but specifically he was trying to buy AR-15. So he, in his hissy fit of this journalist terrorists and criminals can buy AR-15s, but journalists are not allowed to. So I put up the ridiculous, how stupid it is and why he got turned down in a comment on Facebook. So what this jackass does is Kevin Foley goes and agrees that it's terrorists are allowed, but the journalist wasn't able to because the background checks that you guys have been pushing threw up flags saying he can't own it because of his alcoholism. And because, as everybody kept, we got to put laws in so domestic violence, they're not allowed to have weapons. It's been a law for a very long time, and this popped it up. So now, since his article was a failure, he had to try to spin it and make it just everybody else can, but I can't. Yeah, you can't because you're a fucking wife beater or something. And you're an admitted alcoholic, which denies you from getting a weapon, jackass. And this, Kevin Foley, that's where the whole thing started, is standing up for this guy. Everything that these social justice retards want, that's why he got turned down. There are already laws, and that's what a lot of us gunners, pro-gunners, have talked about. It's not that we're, guns, 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 guns. No, they're pushing for laws that are already there. We have had Obama, we've had Biden, we've had Hillary, we've had all the fucking top politicians say we can't enforce the current gun laws we have because we don't have the personnel or the money to enforce it. So what is their great idea? Add new laws that are already on the book, add more laws on that they're not going to be able to enforce. So us pro-gunners are saying this shit's already there. Enforce what's there. Oh, you just want to go kill people. No, you jackass. I'm not going on emotion here. I know I'm getting loud, but I'm not going on emotion. I'm getting loud because of the stupidity. These laws are already there. They're not being enforced by our government. They're not being enforced and being recognized that we don't have the personnel or the money to enforce them. But these retards think that they can add more laws because, look at my politician did something. He put a new law in effect. Well, if they're not going to enforce the law, it's not going to work. And it just comes down to one thing. If a law would stop people from killing each other when they made murder illegal, that should have been the only law that's needed. You wouldn't have to put in all these gun laws. Because making murder illegal should have been enough if laws worked. But they can't get that through their pea-brain head. And this is for my father-in-law, too, because me and him got into it the other weekend when he was here. I mean, it was worse than normal. At one point, my wife was sitting here crying because me and him were going back so bad. And these people, they just don't understand. It's not that we're fighting just for the fun of it. Because these laws are already on the book. Not a single of the proposed laws would have stopped any of these shootings. These shootings keep happening in gun-free zones. And they can't get that through their head. In fact, there was an MSNBC reporter that was interviewing, I think it's the head of the Gun Owners of America. And he pointed out that it's the gun-free zones that are causing it. And the reporter said, "Oh, I wish you could say that to the faces of those victims." And he goes, "I will. I have no problem saying it is the gun-free zones that are doing it." Well, I sent a message saying, you know what? I'm from a family that dealt with gun violence. I put up the article about my father being shot. And I'm glad that Larry Pratt brought up about gun-free zones into the public. I'm glad he said it as a family member that has dealt with gun violence in their family. Because that is what is killing us, is those gun-free zones. They're going into areas where people can't carry, and they're committing their heinous crimes. They're not going into a fucking gun... Well, gun shows, a lot of them are gun-free zones too, surprisingly. But they're not going into areas where people could turn around and go, "Oh, you want to shoot at me? I'm shooting at your dumb ass." And I'm looking up the jackass's name, because I know he will not have the balls to respond. It's a long road living in Reseda. And it's not Jenna. It's not just ISIS. It's for any criminal that wants to commit a heinous act, or any idiot that wants to be a copycat killer because they think it's going to make them famous. All they have to do is grab a weapon and go to a gun-free zone and go shooting. Now, how come I can't find it? I'll have to get it for Monday's show, possibly. And I don't expect anything less out of MSNBC. It's what they do. It just... I dare you to say that to people with those families. Well, I am, and I appreciate it. But you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Out of the ashes of liberal rises the phoenix born onto the Red Nation Rising Radio Network, coming July 4th, 2016. One of the many serving this great phoenix of Red Nation Rising Network is the one, the only Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe is bringing his Reaver of Common Sense show to the birth of a new Red Nation Rising radio network.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the Unpleasant Blind Guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, now making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, hey, that's perfect. Go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. And if you like the live stream, hit subscribe. And if you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. And click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt or two. So, again, totally going off script today. I mean, I haven't gotten to one article that I put down for the show yet, and we're halfway through the show. And I got two other things that I'm going to bring up. I was going to save one thing for Monday, but I'm going to play it this time, and it's 12 minutes long, I believe it is. So, Crash wanted to get something off his chest, and he had some things to say, and it's something he probably wouldn't have been able to do live. He's not used to doing this stuff, so he figured record his thoughts, and then play it on air. It is for him, it is emotional. It is some things that have been weighing on him, and it's a pissed off message that he's tired about. And I have no problem with what he did, and that's why I'm going to play it. He just couldn't do it live. It's not within his means, and he's not used to doing the shows like I am. So we're going to play that in a minute. But a lot of people have been saying, including myself, that a win of the Britain exit is a good thing for Trump. And how that is, number one, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons, and this article put it. The angry voter. That's part of what it comes down to, is people are tired and pissed off the way their governments have been going. And that's what's fueling Trump. That was fueling Bernie Sanders. People are tired of the Clintons, the Bushes, you know. They're tired of the same old cookie-cutter politician being put up there that's not going to represent them, that's going to film full bullshit and lies, and then as soon as they get elected, they're going to do whatever the fuck they want. Well, people are tired of it, and they're pissed off. That's what you got the Brit X for, and that's why you have Donald Trump as a nominee. This globalization is another reason. Most of these people don't want globalization. The ones that want it are the top 1% elitists, which includes Hillary Clinton, even though she rails against all that, which also includes Bernie Sanders, which he so eloquently tried to brainwash people into thinking he wasn't a part of it when he was the establishment since 1981, been in government official. And they're all pushing for globalization. Well, Britain said, I've had enough of this globalization bullshit. That's why the people are out of the European Union. That's the other reason why people are backing Trump, because they are tired of this globalization bullshit. They don't want a one world government. The people like having their nations. And it's not xenophobia or racism. They're proud. They are happy to be from where they are. I'm damn proud to be an American. All right? I love this country. I love it. I fight every day on this radio for it. And I wish, if I could go back in time, the one thing I would change in my life is I would have joined the military. I was a brat. I was stupid, and I didn't have the temperament to go in the military. I had talked about it, but I did not have the temperament back then. And I didn't go in. And yes, it's something that weighs on my shoulder that I did not step up to serve my country. But then again, in a way, I did serve my country. I volunteered countless hours on the fire truck and ambulance. I didn't go to war, but I'll tell you what, I've been shot at a lot back here. And it wasn't a war zone. I put my body on the line for the lives of fellow Americans. I didn't go in the military, and I wish I had. But I did not have the temperament. And then I wonder, would I have my daughter, my beautiful daughter that I have now, if I went into the military? I may not met my wife and all that. So in some ways, I'm happy the way my life turned out, very happy. But that's one thing I'd like to change. And I have no problem with any other country, really. Can't think of any else. Libya, Syria, the Middle East kind of pisses me off. North Korea. But I don't even have a problem against Russia and the Russian people being proud of their country. Thanks, John. She's saying, you, a brat? No way. Yeah, I was... And the biggest reason, and I know this is going to sound stupid, is especially up until a couple years ago, I've had fireworks set off like inches from my ear, and I still stayed asleep. I'm not a morning person. I would have never been waking up easy. I would have gotten in trouble left, right, and center with my fellow cadets and all that, or privates. I would have gotten in trouble, and I would have had several pill blanket parties. And that did weigh on my mind that I wouldn't be waking up, and I knew it. So I'm proud of this country, and I don't have a problem with other countries being proud of them. But if you're going to leave your country for whatever reason and come to, let's say you migrate legally to the United States, yeah, it's okay to be proud of your heritage. But you better be proud of the country you're in. Because if you're not, get the fuck out of it. And it's not just the United States. If you immigrate to Britain and you're not proud of it, and you still want to, you talk about how great your country you came from, go the fuck back there. Be proud of your country. This globalization, trying to make it a one-world government, only helps the top 1% or whatever goddamn percentage they want to give it. The elitists. It helps them, not the little people. It will fuck us even more. So Trump being against globalization and the Britain X, it shows the Americans we can fight against it. Of course, the immigration, being forced to take people from other countries that are not happy to be in your country, that don't give a shit and want to take over. Thank you, Gary. That does mean a lot. And I've talked about it before, and it's kind of embarrassing. I've had Vietnam vets be at the bar, bullshit with them, go to buy them a drink, and we get talking about my background. Next thing you know, they'll start buying me drinks because, as their words, not mine, they went off to war. They've gone to other countries to protect. I stayed here, and I protected our country, and I served our country in states. And it's embarrassing when you have Vietnam vets. I knew what you meant. Don't worry about typos. I do it all the time. It's It's embarrassing when you have Vietnam vets buying you drinks. It's like, shit. So let me finish getting through this so I can play Crash's pre-recorded message. And the lost pride, you know, because they're trying to push a one world nation. They don't want you to have any specific pride of any country. And that's what Obama has trying to do in this country, is take away the American pride. Try to bash us, downplay our greatness. We are a great country. Be proud of it. Stand up for it. Shout it. And if you can't, get the fuck out of it. And the populism. You know, it was a big wave that happened in England, Britain, UK, whatever you want to call it. And it's showing that can happen here in the country. So we're going to get to this bit. Crash is not used to doing these things, and I'm not going to, or try not to interrupt it. And I did interrupt it when he recorded. He called me last night and asked to do this, and he wanted to go through and say what he had to say, and he wouldn't have, not the guts, but he wouldn't be able to do it self-conscious, so to speak. So, here it is. Go ahead.
Well, this is a little bit out of the side of the ordinary for me. This is Crash from the Southside Mutt Show, and periodic commentator on Reaver of Common Sense, usually on Wednesdays in the afternoon. I do apologize. I have had a few beers, and I will freely admit that. However, I am royally fucking pissed, and I have no problem admitting that. I've had it. I have just completely had it with this woodtarditis and everybody wanting to be completely politically correct. 15 years ago, we were attacked by Muslim extremists. We were attacked on U.S. soil. Over 3,000 innocent civilians lost their lives. Countless emergency responders lost their lives, and that number is still counting due to exposure. The official death toll was at 300 plus for rescue personnel. That doesn't take into account those that got exposed and injured and died months and years later. A false number. The reason I point that out is I am among those. And I'm pissed. I'm completely fucking pissed. Because 15 years later, after our nation stood together as one, flags were flying. People were standing on overpasses, and they were waving the American flag, and they were pledging support for emergency responders, and they were pledging support for America. I was on one of those trucks, and I made a statement. Give it a few months, it'll be forgotten. Don't expect this. I was a punk-ass lieutenant at that time. And I was praying my words would be incorrect. Unfortunately, I was wrong. They were 100% accurate. It was all forgotten. 15 years later, I'm still here. I'm still here. Countless others are still here, and we still have to live with those after effects. And you know what? This nation forgot. We were fucking attacked. But we're making apologies. We're saying sorry for insulting you. We're saying, come on in. We don't have to check anything on you. It doesn't matter. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. Those people that hijacked those aircraft and crashed 2 of them into the trade centers in New York City, crashed 1 of them into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. And the 4th, which, you know what, there's a lot of speculation. Was it headed to the U.S. Capitol? Was it headed to the White House? You know what, nobody will ever know. That flight got delayed. Passengers got the heads up on what was going on. And they attempted to take back the aircraft, causing it to crash into an empty field. And you know what? For all those of you that might be listening right now saying that's Bush-era propaganda, it's false flag, or, CIA, it was C4 in the buildings, you know what? I really don't give a crap. I don't care what you have to say about any of that. Because I am going to tell you one thing. One, I was there. I was in New York on the morning of September 11th, Tuesday morning, September 11th, 2001. I was fucking there. So if you want to tell me what happened on that morning, feel free. But you better have an eyewitness account, and it better be your fucking eyes. Otherwise, sit down, shut up, and listen. And I'm sorry for being very rash right now. I'm pissed. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all of this. We've got our elected officials doing sit-ins for let's control the guns. We need to regulate guns because that's the problem. The gun didn't fucking hurt anybody. It was the asshole pulling the trigger that did. And guess what? It's from the same freaking place of the goddamn son of a bitch that flew that fucking airplane. It wasn't the fucking gun. Get over yourself. Get over your political propaganda. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with it. You want to call it a false flag? You want to call it whatever? Fine. You want to say the CIA knew about it before it happened? Okay, fine. Am I going to say that my government's perfect? Hell no. Am I going to say that Bush is a saint? Clinton was a sinner? No, I'm not. I'm going to say that both did right and both did wrong. Just the same as much as I hate to admit it, I won't say that Obama did 100% wrong. I think he's done more harm than good, but I don't think he's completely wrong in a lot of his motives. I think his tactics suck. But at the end of the day, over 3,000 American lives were lost. And as a people, we swore to never forget. 15 years later, the only question I have is, who remembers? I can remember names of survivors, and I can remember names of the dead. So my question is, can you? That's my question. And as much as and Jersey Joe can definitely correspond with this, as much as I am not 100% in line with country music, I'm a lot more of a classic rock and heavy metal type of guy. Sometimes country music does work.
Sucks.
And I am not going to try to put the names of the songs with the artist because I will guarantee to screw it up. But there was a song, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning? I think that was the name. I can tell you exactly where I was. I was coming off shift. I was coming off a double shift. Got home Tuesday morning. My alert went off right after I got into fucking bed. I got up, I got geared up, and I left again. And I did not see my family again for a while. That's where I was. I'll never forget it, and I'll never regret it. I won't forget where I was. The other one was Angry American, and I'm sorry. You know what? I have a lot in common with that song. Fucked with the wrong goddamn country. You want a boot in your ass? That is the American way. We came over there, we kicked your mother effing ass. So what do? They send the lone wolves over here? They recruit citizens and make them sympathetic? Those aren't citizens of the United States of America. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Whether you agree with me or not, I really could give a crap. I will stand for this country and this flag until my last breath. And if that's 5 minutes from now, 50 years from now, I don't really give a crap. I will be here until somebody takes that right away from me. And nobody is going to remove my rights without either my approval, which, good luck, or my resistance, more likely. As American people, we swore to never forget. We said we wouldn't forget. We put up memorials that people went to. We stood on the overpasses. We flew flags. We said, we'll never forget. George Bush, the president, even invoked a day that will live in infamy, reminiscent of the attacking of Pearl Harbor. You know what? We still honor Pearl Harbor, and I have no problem with that. Countless servicemen lost their lives that day. Countless civilians lost their lives that day. Look at the body count. September 11th, 2001, the body count was higher. It only took us 15 years to forget. I'm sorry. There is something wrong with society in this country. And they need to be reminded of this. And I will continue to say this as long as I'm allowed to. Which is to say, as long as I'm alive. So with that, hoping that Jersey Joe is somewhere on the other side of the line, probably muted because he's laughing his ass off at me right now.
No, I'm not.
But in any case,
I told you I was giving you free reign to it, and that's all I was going to do. And
I appreciate.
As I said, I was going to. That wasn't me interrupting here. That was last night when recorded it. I'm not going to comment, and this is his piece. I will say I do agree with a lot of his sentiments. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio and ICRN Network and soon to be Red Nation Rising Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Out of the ashes of liberal rises the phoenix born onto the Red Nation Rising Radio Network coming July 4th, 2016. One of the many serving this great phoenix of Red Nation Rising Network is the one, the only Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe is bringing his Reaver of Common Sense show to the birth of a new Red Nation Rising Radio Network.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Much Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm making sense out of the senseless. Why does this not sound right? The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Now, I can tell my daughter when the show gets done that, yes, honey, I told them that they need to hit the subscribe and comment. Well, I almost forgot about the comment part, but comment. And if you want to support the show, all the money that I make off of the shirts goes back into the show and how I can make the show even better. And anytime anybody wants to comment about my show, I'm all for critiquing. I have no problem with critiquing. As an EMT, it's jammed down your throat, critiquing is. That's how you learn to become better. So if you want, go to jerseyjoe@reaver.one. Send me a message. Tell me what you like, don't like. Tell me you want me fired. Tell me you want me to get the fuck off the air. Tell me you want me to get a raise. But a raise of nothing is still nothing. I have no problem with it. But go to Reaver.one, buy a t-shirt. So, all right, we're going to get on with the last part of the show. We got the weekend coming up. It's going to be interesting. It's Crash putting that out there like that is... That's pretty big for him. I know there's less than a handful of people that he's ever talked to about 9/11 and all that. He doesn't like to talk about it, but I've been on his ass over the years and that's what he has to do. He's got to talk about it. So that was a big thing for him, and none of that was scripted. That was all just coming from his heart at the moment. And I know he probably pissed off some listeners, and I'm sorry. I agree with him on some of the false flags anymore. And I had Outlaw Morgan on my show, and I love Outlaw Morgan. What's funny is he got suspended by Facebook. Some jackass who said kept telling him he was a Navy SEAL and black belt and all this other crap, said he wanted to kick the shit and threaten Outlaw Morgan on Facebook. So Outlaw Morgan said, yeah, come on down. I'll take you up on your offer. Well, the son of a bitch went to Facebook and got Outlaw Morgan suspended, which is really weird. He's the one that initiated. He's the one that made the threat. And the person that said, okay, fine, I'll take you up on your offer, is the one that got suspended. Now, from what I've seen, the gentleman that started the whole brouhaha got suspended too, which is good. But Outlaw Morgan was talking about that, and sorry, I don't buy into it. It doesn't make it right or wrong. I don't buy into all the false flags because everything is false flag. And I've seen too much up there to believe this was something done by the government. But that's a discussion for another time. And that was from the heart of Crash. So, and we're going to get on. I don't want to comment. That was his piece, not mine. All right. This one I found vile and disgusting. Everybody knows that guy took a shot at trying to assassinate Trump. It was a poor attempt, thank God. But he did take an attempt at trying to assassinate Trump. Now, NBC producer has praised the would-be Donald Trump assassin, saying he is a good guy with a gun. Well, number one, no, he isn't, because he tried taking a gun from an officer, which is never a good thing. Well, I don't want to say never, because there is incidents when it can be a good thing. But this is not one of them. And the associate producer for NBC Universal Incorporated declared that the legal alien hoping to assassinate Donald Trump is a good guy with a gun on Twitter this past Tuesday. It could be argued that the dude who was hoping to assassinate Donald Trump is a good guy with a gun is his exact tweet. Matthew Mower, M-O-W-R-E-R, was praising the would-be assassin. His account has now been switched to private, which is kind of funny, because he makes a comment like that and then makes it private. Well, if you stand by your comment, don't hide behind any blocks, you pussy. And he was alluding to the illegal alien from the United Kingdom who told authorities he tried to grab a cop's gun to shoot Trump at a Las Vegas rally. And this man, as far as I know right now, is still employed by NBC. NBC is promoting the assassination of Trump by allowing one of their producers to still work. This is disgusting. Michael Steven Stanford, 19, had overstayed his visa and was living out of his car, according to his court-appointed attorney. He was arrested after grabbing an officer's gun and trying to pull it from its holster. He told investigators he was convinced he would die while trying to kill Trump. Stanford also told authorities he went to Battlefield Vegas shooting range to practice firing a weapon, shooting 20 rounds from a 9mm Glock pistol, which a range employee confirmed. Leftists have rioted during Trump's rallies and viciously attacked Trump supporters, even women, and this is not the first time someone has tried to harm Trump at a rally. Rioters have also called for violence at Trump rallies because American Trump supporters are heartless racists, whose political beliefs make them fair game for physical assault. The left always justify their evil means. And yes, Jenna, that is one thing. If there's an officer down and you take his gun to defend him, that is a justified. But taking a gun to try to shoot somebody, what, in this incident? Nah. I find it totally disgusting. Totally disgusting. Come on. There we go. That NBC has not responded to my knowledge. And they have not let us know whether they will. Come on, there we go. Having trouble with my mixer. Come on. Yeah, no, come on. There we go. It's funny how the left and the right have been working together to smear Donald Trump. They go into this racist, sexist, Islamophobe, demagogual, Hitler, subconsciously Hitler, not Hitler but Mussolini, and all these accusations you can't defend about. They're baseless accusations, and you can't defend it. How are you going to fight it? So the best way to do it is just ignore this shit. And that's what I like, because the left have used this repeatedly every election. He's a racist. He's a racist. He's a racist. He's a racist. You know, it's bullshit. That's all they do. And too many times, the politicians on the right chase their tail trying to defend themselves. And you can't defend yourself against a negative. So he put out there, I'm not a racist. There's no way to defend it. It's just the left trying to divert the conversation away from other things. So they throw these baseless accusations out there, and I'm not going to fall for it, and I'm just going to go on with my campaign. And a perfect example is in 2010. It was the starting of the Tea Party. And the Tea Party got accused of being racist by the left. You know what, Jenna? I didn't agree with it either, that he made fun of that disabled reporter. But you know what? We all make comments throughout our life here or there that people aren't going to agree with. People make mistakes. Trump admits that he's human, and you know what? He goes on. You can't sit there and keep dwelling on certain things. I've made comments that I shouldn't have made in the past. I've done stupid shit that I'm not exactly proud of what I did, but I go on. I learn from my mistakes and go on. There's stuff that everybody, you could pick out from everybody that they've said one time or another. And to keep going over it, and I know you're not, but other people just keep going over. You're always going to be sorry, I'm looking up. Trying to find the person. But in 2010, with the creation of the Tea Party, the Democrats couldn't fight against... The Tea Party was going to go after him for the jobless rate. And, come on. The Democrats couldn't fight against it. They had no response to it. So their big thing is, they just said that the Tea Party was racist. So what did the Tea Party do? They spent the rest of the primary chasing, we're not racist, we're not racist. And that's how the Democrats won in 2010. It just they made those statements. They had the Tea Party chasing their tail, and it has stuck to them for years to come. Instead of just going on and ignoring it and doing what they do, they ended up chasing their tail. And I'm trying, as I said, In one of my original shows, I did the Democrat Party being racist. Here it is. Tainting the Tea Party movement with the charge of racism is proving to be an efficient strategy for Democrats. There is no evidence that Tea Party adherents are any more racist than any other Republican, and indeed many other Americans. But getting them to spend their time purging their ranks and having candidates distance themselves should help Democrats win in November. Having one's opponent rebuke charges of racism is far better than discussing joblessness. This was a quote from Mary Frances Berry, the former chairwoman of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. And they admit what they did. And Jenna, I can understand because I'm physically handicapped now. I guess you could say that too, with all the injuries I have. I also will make fun of myself for my injuries and being handicapped. And I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just the way I deal with things. I'll make fun of my own shortcomings. I have no problem with that. But yeah, he shouldn't have made those comments. Trump shouldn't have, but you go on. As I've said, I don't agree with everything that Trump has said or done. I don't agree with 100% of all of his policies. I don't believe one of his tax plans he has put forth, I believe it was Trump, that under, I think it's $33,000 or something like that, you wouldn't have to pay any federal taxes. You'd be exempt. And I don't agree with that. Every American should be paying federal taxes. Everybody should be paying their fair share. And when I say fair share, I'm not talking to Bernie Sanders' socialist fair share. We have a 7% or whatever they agree to federal taxes. Okay? And that's it. Everybody pays it. You just pay it and go on. There's no tax day. You're not filing for taxes. There's no returns. There's no nothing. There's no exemptions. Nothing. Everybody pays on their, paycheck, let's say 7%. So if I make $100, I'm going to pay what? $7? And I know my math's going to go haywire. But if I make $1,000, I'm going to have to pay, what, $70? So as you make more money, you're going to be putting more money into the system, so you're going to be paying more money, but it's the equal percentage that someone that isn't making that much money. Everybody will pay the same equal price, and I keep getting, the poor people will be paying more. No, they won't. 7% of 7% is still 7%. And if you're making $1 million, you're paying the 7% on that. If you're making $10, you're paying the 7%. I don't think anybody should not pay, taxes. It's everybody should pay equal amount. And yes, right now, I wouldn't have to pay federal taxes underneath that. But I believe everybody should pay. And I don't think people, because they're successful, whether it's from their parents or however they make their money, they should all pay the same percentage. And I had my father-in-law go, no, I should pay more money. Why? Because you were successful in your life? Yeah. Success doesn't mean you owe anything. You owe nothing to anybody for being successful. And I can't understand that thinking. You don't owe anybody because you busted your ass in school. You busted your ass in your career. God damn this. It's yours. You have the right to it. The government does not have the right to that money. I don't have a right to anybody else's money. Period. But I don't agree with his one plan of under, I think it's $30,000. I could be wrong on it. there's so much shit going on. I'm trying to remember every little thing. But going back to the point is, I know I got way off topic on that. And I'm sorry, I keep looking over into the camera and I'm realizing how much weight I've gained and how fat my face has gotten, and it's pissing me off. I'm about ready to go back to smoking so I can drop this damn weight. I quit smoking over a year ago and I gained like 50 fucking pounds, and it's pissing me off and I can't pull it off. No, I'm not eating anything extraordinary. Drinking. All I drink nowadays is, for the past 3-4 months, is water with a little lemon juice in it. Every blue moon, I'll have a ginger ale soda. And I have coffee in the morning and night and here and there. But 90% of what I drink is just water and lemon juice. I try to stay away from any sweets or anything, and I'm not eating unhealthy. And I can't pull the weight off, and it pisses me off. And I keep looking over, and I see this fat face, and it's like, God damn it, I got to pull this weight off. That, and I cut my goatee off, and it just, I don't like it. I got to grow it back. I wish I could just, yank it, neat, pull it back. I don't like without the goatee. So... But NBC is, I've lost all respect for them. I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch anything on it, because if there's something, I might watch it. I mean, ever since they canceled a couple programs, I have no interest in it, their station. But, they have the NBC Sports, which does a lot of broadcasting of hockey games during the season and all that, so... And wait a minute, I think tonight's the draft for NHL. Woohoo! I might be doing that tonight. Sorry. I am a huge hockey fan. I mean, I have the Flyer symbol tattooed on my left calf. It's... I watch... I watch football and stuff, but it's not hugely... Yeah, the draft is tonight, so... Oh, and I do have to point out, because the show's almost done, I have 2 new sponsors. I found out about it right before getting on air, so I wasn't able to throw stuff in there. So, Monday, and I will be announcing everything later on tonight about the new sponsors for the show, and I can't believe that the show's already done. So I want to wish everybody a great weekend. Be safe. Again, I am humbled that you choose to listen to me. I am appreciated. I appreciate it so much. I can't thank you enough. And thank you for listening to the Reaver of Common Sense, right here on SHR Media and High Plain Planet Radio and ICRN. Have a great weekend.
To the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.